back to Shoogly Shed Motors. Carrying on with the XJR1300, of course. Obviously I have my bike shed deadline at the end of May, so with that in mind I want to crack on with one of the sort of main focal points of any custom motorcycle, which is the fuel tank and paintwork. If you remember, a number of years ago now, it was almost, I cut open the fuel tank, welded in a new fuel cap, a Monza style fuel cap, and then kind of left it there. That was kind of as far as I got. All I've done since then basically is stuck a primer coat on the fuel tank to stop it rusting, because I had it sandblasted, if you remember, to get all the old paint and filler off. So that's kind of where it's been left. The other thing I've done is I've sealed up underside where the... Oh, there's a spider. Hello, spider. Bye bye, spider. There's a lot of spiders in my shed. Yeah, I've sealed up where the fuel sender went, and then I've also just plugged where the fuel tap goes just now. Reason, I'm not going to use a fuel sender, so I've kind of sealed that up almost permanently, but the fuel tap is temporarily sealed up with some gasket paper, a little blanking plate I made up, some bolts and fibre washers, because I need to clean out the inside of the tank and seal it. The inside of the tank, I obviously won't be able to see it just yet, but I'll show you in a second, is a little bit rusty. It's not bad, it's actually just surface rust. It's not you know, gone right into the metal, but it's just because it's been sat this long empty. So what I'm planning on doing is two stages of the process. Is rinsing the tank out with a very strong vinegar, basically an acid to flush out as much of that rust as possible. Neutralise that acid with some bicarb soda to neutralise that, wash it all out, dry it, and then I've got an epoxy tank sealer liner to go in it. It's POR 15. This stuff here, I've used it to great success in the past, so that's what I'm going to use this time. You basically just bung this in the tank, roll it about a bit and let it dry for like 96 hours or something like that, so it takes a long time to dry. But all these are very important stages to making sure that not only does this tank look nice, but it performs well and it doesn't leak fuel everywhere. It's also, the good thing about this is it's a belt and braces approach to the welding that I did when I replaced the fuel cap, so that will 100% be sealed. No fuel leaking out any of my welds if there's any hidden pinholes or anything like that. So first things first, let's get an acid wash on the go and try and wash out as much of the inside surface rust as possible. Right, I've come outside to the Shoogly sink. Everything's Shoogly in my life. I'm going to basically try and do the acid wash in my outdoor sink to try and make as little mess as possible. So first things first, fill it up with acid, which is 40% spirit vinegar. It's sort of cleaning grade vinegar. You don't want to put this in your chips. So it's technical grade cleaning vinegar at 40% strength. So if I stick this into the tank with a bit of water, slosh it around and just kind of move it around positions every once in a while, hopefully I'll try and get as much of that rust as possible. That is strong. Whoops. Don't drop plastic inside the tank. going to let that sit for a bit, and then I'll just keep changing positions. Okay, we are starting to get the results I'm looking for, but just to try and speed up some of the process, I just took a big inhalation of that vinegar. I'm going to put in a length of chain and 40 screws. The reason I've counted them exactly is so I know they all come out again. So, 40 screws, now let's get physical. Right, next up is baking powder, bicarb of soda. Right, so obviously that's now the tank had the acid wash and the bicarb soda neutralizer, and then I've flushed it out about 25 million times with fresh water. And then I've just spent the last 10 minutes with the heat gun and a bit of compressed air drying the thing out. So I've just had a wee look around inside it with the torch, and I can't see any wet patches at all. It's still actually quite warm to the touch from the heat gun, so I'm hoping any residual moisture will have evaporated quite quickly. Yeah, so that's pretty much prep done for the tank. The next thing to do is to use the Power 15 tank sealer. Now this stuff, just a quick word of warning, contains isocyanates, the good stuff. Means it'll do a very good job, however it will do a very bad job on my lungs, plural. It'll do a bad job on my lungs basically if I inhale it, so it's proper respirator time for this stuff. I'm going to put my little blanking plate back on the fuel tap hole, and then get to work, pour the entire contents of the can in, Shoogle it around, make sure the whole of the inside of the tank is lined with it, and then let it kind of drain off the excess. Then 96 hours later we'll have hopefully a fully sealed tank. This is my secret weapon, my borescope, to make sure that I've got all surfaces coated. So far it's looking pretty good. Right, oh that's stinky. The tank's now fully coated. I need to leave it for, like I said, 96 hours for that to harden and go off. But that's okay, it's not getting fuel in it for quite a while yet anyway. The main thing I wanted to do with, well, the reason I wanted to get this done first is because it's a bit of a messy job and you don't really want to be messing about with acids and alkalis and isocyanate linings when you've just painted your tank. So this is the right way to do it. Get it all done, the lining done first, then get on to the nitty gritty of all the bodywork. So although that was a little bit of a short episode, it was just kind of a precursor to getting this tank painted and get the bodywork started, which is what I'm going to do in the next episode. Obviously you can see this tank needs quite a bit of bodywork. We knocked out as many of the dents as possible back when it was when I was welding it basically, but there's still a heck of a lot of work to be done yet, sorting out this side of the tank in particular, but you know, we'll get there. I've got plenty filler and time and patience to give to this tank, and hopefully by the end of it, it will be a show worthy tank. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this episode up here. As usual, please do give me a like, leave me a comment and subscribe to the Shoogly Shed channel. I appreciate all the support and I will see you next time hopefully, and I'm away to get some fresh air because otherwise I might pass out. Whew. I was genuinely going to do this in the house. Thank goodness I didn't.